Lord Rama and Lakshmana, like gentle students, like very, very sincere students of their teacher, they would serve Vishwamitra Muni every day. Till Vishwamitra Muni would lie down and sleep, go to sleep, Lord Rama and Lakshmana would massage the feet, the legs of Vishwamitra Muni. Vishwamitra Muni became so happy with Lord Rama and Lakshmana that not only did he narrate stories, he equipped them with innumerable and powerful weapons that he had. Okay, so like this, Lord Rama and Lakshmana learned a lot of things from Vishwamitra Muni. Why Vishwamitra Muni gave all of these information and weapons to Lord Rama? Because Lord Rama was humble and gentle. You know the saying, right? The humble and the gentle inherit the kingdom of God. It is a very famous proverb in English. And it is the humble, those who are humble, they only derive knowledge from their teachers. Now, if this is the blue circle, that is the things that we have to know in this world. There's so much for us to learn. But what we actually know is like this green circle. Very little only we know. But people think that they know beyond what they they think as if they know everything, beyond everything also. The red circle is a size of what people think they know. Okay, so there are things to know, there are things that we actually know, and there are things we think we know. Okay, so the things we think we know is always greater than the things that we have to know. Okay, so this is the mark of an arrogant person, and we should not be arrogant like this. So one more explanation I'll give. If we have a graph like this, okay, we have a graph, and on the x-axis at the bottom, if it is knowledge, and the y-axis is arrogance. Usually what happens is, the more knowledgeable we become, the more arrogant also we become. We become proud. Oh, I know so many things. I can defeat anybody in argument. We may think like that, right? So this arrogance keeps on increasing as we learn more and more things. And this point, you see that, okay, the hatched portion with a small rectangular hatched portion, that is the state of most arrogant people, where it, you know, their self-confidence borders on the heights of arrogance, and they think they know everything. But an intelligent person, when he has learned a lot, okay, so he has learned a lot, he or she has learned a lot, at that point in time, an intelligent person will realize that actually he knows very little. At that point in time, the curve starts going downward, and he understands how little I know, right? Like the great scientist Einstein, he said, I'm standing in front of the ocean. What I know is a droplet. What I need to know about this entire universe, about God and so many things, is actually like the ocean. Okay, so what I know is only very little. So intelligent people will always realize how little they know. Okay, so at that time, what happens to the graph? As knowledge increases from that point onwards, a person's arrogance keeps on reducing and becomes very, very humble. So actually a learned person will become humble. If somebody is not humble, if somebody is arrogant, that person is not really learned. In the peak of knowledge, a person will always remain humble and not arrogant. You see, Ravana, for instance, Ravana was also a very learned man, but he was very arrogant. So he belonged to that rectangle, orange rectangle, hatched rectangle that you see, he belonged to that group. You'll have to create an apparatus. Okay, what apparatus is this? The apparatus is, you can have two bottles or bowls. Okay, so you have to have water in one, and the other bowl or bottle has to be empty. The bottles have to be connected with a tube, okay, or a straw or something. Okay, both have to be connected with a straw or a tube. Now, in which position will the water flow from this bottle to this bottle? If say this bottle is the in the hand with my watch, okay, this bottle has water, this bottle doesn't have water. So if you keep the bottle equal, will water flow from here to here? Or if you keep this bottle lower, water will flow? Or if you keep here at a higher position, will the water flow? Like water always flows from a higher position to a lower position. Similarly, knowledge also always flows from a higher position to a lower position. That means if I think that I'm equal to my teacher, knowledge will not flow. I have to take a subordinate position to my teacher, then knowledge will flow. Okay, so this is a very, very important lesson that we can learn from how Lord Rama and Lakshmana behaved with their teachers, both Vasishta and also Vishwamitra Muni. You see, Michael Faraday, he is the one who understood a lot about electricity, and today without electricity we cannot live, right? So Michael Faraday was born in England, okay, and he was because he was born in a lower class. It is not that, you know, the English people, they criticize that in India there is this caste system, class system, that was there in England also, in UK also. So he was discriminated against due to the terrible class system which was practiced in England at that point in time. And he was not considered a gentleman because he was of a lower class. So he was forced to serve as a valet, and he was made to travel outside the coach, eat with the servants, etc. Okay, and still, even though he was very learned, still Michael Faraday maintained a very gentle and humble attitude. And Michael Faraday was a great believer in God. So L.P. Williams, he said about Faraday like this. He said his true humility lay in a profound consciousness of his debt to his creator, that means to God. That Michael Faraday, poor uneducated son of a journeyman blacksmith and a country maid, was permitted to glimpse the beauty of the eternal laws of nature, was a never-ending source of wonder to him. Similarly, there are other examples like Prithu Maharaj. He was a king of the entire world. But then when the great sages, the Kumaras, the sons of Brahma came, he was very anxious to receive them and offered a grand reception, offered exalted seats, great asan. He himself knelt down before them, bowed down and washed their feet and sprinkled the water over his hair, just like Maharaj Dasharath, glorified the wonderful qualities of the Kumaras and inquired from them very humbly. Even though he was also a very learned man, still he asked from the Kumaras very humbly. This should be the attitude of a good student. Okay. Therefore, in Sanskrit it is said, Vidya dadati namrata. Education means one should become gentle, sober, and cool-headed. We should not be like the vultures. The vultures, even when they fly very high, still they will be thinking, where is the dead body for me to eat? So we should not be like that. Even if we are flying high in the air, we have so much knowledge, but still we look for dirty things, bad things, negative things in people, what faults are there in people. We should not be like that. Okay, vultures are like that, but we should be like the angels, that the devatas who are flying high. Okay.